Working remotely has changed the game. Since COVID, searches for remote work have gone up 4,400%. Luckily for us, the Teamwork team put together the top 10 US cities for remote workers. Jacksonville has made number 7 on that list. Today, we're going to cover why people are moving to Florida, why people are moving to Jacksonville, and we're also going to take a deep dive into the factors that the Teamwork team went over that made Jacksonville number 7 on the list of top 10 US cities for remote workers. My name's Thomas, and I work with Real Broker here in Northeastern Florida. So if you're looking for more information like that, make sure you tap that subscribe button below, like the video, and comment if you have any additional questions about living in Jacksonville, St. Augustine, or Palm Coast. If you need any further assistance, there is a link in the description below where you can schedule a 30-minute video conference with me. What has made Florida so attractive to people and corporations? I'm going to cover what I researched, but I'd really like to know what you think in the comments below. Since COVID, we have seen a lot of changes amongst corporations. A ton of people resigned because they decided they just didn't want to be in this mess anymore, especially with the pandemic. They thought other things were more important. And along with that, you had a lot of people that decided, you know what, working from home benefits me and my lifestyle, and I want to continue to do that. And that's proven by the increase in searches that we've seen for remote work and that 4,400% stat that we covered earlier. And we've even seen that with Elon Musk. He's asking a lot of his employees to come back to work or risk being fired. Is he going to receive the retention that he thinks he's going to? That really remains to be seen. Since the pandemic and the rise of remote work, we've seen a ton of people move here into Florida. 25% of those people were moving here because of lifestyle. And it's been reported that 25% of the people that are in contract are people that are remote workers that are influxing our area because of the low tax structure as well as the climate. United Van Lines did a study and they comprise everything, why people are moving in, why people are moving out of Florida, just based on their van lines. So if you're seeing here on Florida, you're seeing that 38% of the people moving into Florida are retiring, followed up by 26.87% of the people are moving because of lifestyle, and then 21.76% of the people are moving because of family, and then 17.61% are moving because of a job. Now, when you're taking a look at these numbers, you're seeing that people are relocating to Florida because of a variety of different reasons. But the main ones are retirement. So you have the people that decided they're getting out of the rat race, or they're done, they're not working anymore. That's that big baby boomer population. And then you have the people that are moving for lifestyle and family. So whether that's someone that's relocating here because their family lives here, or that's someone that wants to move here, they have that the ability to do that because of their remote work situation. They're able to move here and live in a more favorable climate than where they're coming from. I have a ton of people calling me from Colorado, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and California, and Washington. All these people are moving here for a variety of different reasons, and they're all unique to each individual state. If you're looking for sun, sand, and great internet, Jacksonville may be the place for you. Now, our unemployment is one of the lowest in the entire country, and that's really led by a couple different sectors. You have the transportation industry, you have the healthcare industry, and you have the financial industry. But what a lot of people don't know about Jacksonville and Florida as a whole is that they've been encouraging corporations to come here for a very long time. And since that time, they've even seen a big boom in the tech industry. A lot of that is focused in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. But if you're looking here in Jacksonville, you can see a growing tech sector. There are 5 reasons that make Florida really attractive to both people and corporations. The first reason is state leadership. Florida's governor and legislators support innovative public policy to encourage research and development of new products. That includes things like creating legal options for testing unmanned vehicles, simplifying access to certifications and professional licensing, and enabling the testing of new fintech products without the usual prohibitive regulations. So it's really the small things that make this place an attractive area for corporations to relocate to. The second reason is going to be because of the low tax structure and the business climate here in Florida. Florida. Florida has no personal income tax, a 5.5% corporate tax rate, and no payroll taxes. That can be a game changer for a business that's just starting up or an established business that's looking to leave a high tax state. Enterprise Florida fields calls from across the country and the world every day of the week right now, and those calls are from businesses looking to relocate here. Honestly, when you are going to pay taxes, it is kind of weird, especially if you've lived in another state where there is personal payroll taxes and state taxes, because when you go there to pay your taxes, you're expecting to pay Florida a little bit, but here it's just not done. So it's just completely blank when you fill in that application. The third reasons that people and businesses want to move here to Florida is because of the workforce that's available here and also the ability to attract talent because of the local area. Florida's highly regarded public university system has been ranked the best in the nation and is well positioned to offer a trained workforce right now. It's home to the nation's third largest workforce, one that is culturally and linguistically diverse. Florida's labor force is also more affordable than other leading high-tech states, thanks to favorable tax structure and lower business costs. That is something that I really didn't even think of that makes Florida more attractive for businesses especially. We have so many large colleges here in the area that provide a very educated workforce. And what are these big corporations looking for? They're looking for cream of the crop. And when you're able to go to these universities and pick up those students, those people who are looking really to dig in and make that company better, those are going to be your hungry people right there. So that's a big win for corporations moving here to our area. The talent attraction side of it, I mean, it's like when you're living in northeastern Florida compared to, like, I don't know, North Dakota or Washington or upstate New York or something like that, where the weather is pretty much 6 months out of the year, you're in winter. Northeastern Florida as a whole looks very attractive. Fourth reason is infrastructure. People are looking to move here to the area. Corporations are looking to move to the area because of the infrastructure we have available for the state of Florida. Florida's infrastructure is an asset that can't be overlooked. The state is home to more than 130 public use airports and 20 commercial airports. This wealth of airports has given Florida the edge we have in the aviation and aerospace, manufacture, and maintenance industries. Additionally, Florida's network of 15 deepwater seaports support nearly 900,000 jobs across the state and contribute $117 billion to the economy each year. These jobs and economic impact are critical to the state, but also at local and regional levels. That's one really important thing to note about Jacksonville, because Jacksonville has become a large logistics and transportation hub. When you're looking at the seaports, they've developed a lot of the ports, and they just made a deepwater seaport that's big enough to take one of the Chinese transloading ships. The fifth reason that people and corporations want to move to Florida is the quality of life. Now, I live in northeastern Florida. I think the quality of life here is great. Now, things are changing. Of course, prices are appreciating, rent is going up, mortgages are going up, all that good stuff. But everything else, the weather, the food, is pretty much affordable if you're looking to go out and have a nice dinner, if you're looking to just go to the beach and hang out. You can pretty much do that year round. Does it get a little bit cold in the winter? Yeah, but that's also the bonus of northeastern Florida versus Florida as a whole, because we still have that kind of third, fourth season where it does get cold. What really sets Florida apart from the other states is that it is the ideal place to work and live. Besides the beautiful weather, Florida's cost of living is below that of other states with similar economic growth and in-migration rates. State analysts recently reported that Florida is expected to see its population increase by an average of more than 300 residents a year. In other words, it's a desirable and affordable place to live and do business. Add that to a myriad of cultural amenities, world-class theme parks, and sporting events, and you have a clear recipe for a well-rounded and rewarding lifestyle. So after I've given you all that information on Florida and why that is attractive to so many people, does Florida seem attractive to you? Let me know in the comments below. So let's take a look at 2021's migration trends. LinkedIn did a great study on the top 12 US cities with net inflow of population. These 12 US metro areas have seen the biggest percentage increases in net population inflows during the past year, as tracked by LinkedIn members changing home cities on their profiles. If you're taking a look at the top 5, you're seeing Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Austin, Orlando. 4 out of the 5 cities are in the top 5 for the net inflow of population. That's a pretty interesting statistic. You see here on the graph that Jacksonville had a growth of net inflow of 14.3%. Why is that? Why are people moving to Jacksonville so rapidly, especially compared to other parts in Florida and other parts of the United States? We'll get into it here, but I'd really like to know what you think in the comments below. One of the main reasons I think people are moving to Jacksonville is going to be the cost of living. Now, yes, I've been talking about it a lot. Prices have appreciated significantly over this past year and in the past 2 years. But if you're comparing that to the rest of Florida, Jacksonville and the surrounding area is still a deal. The second reason I think people are looking to move to our area is going to be the favorable climate. Now, we're in northeastern Florida here. If you're looking at hurricane maps, we've been super lucky. Knock on some wood here. But also, if you're taking a look at northeastern Florida and the average temperatures throughout the year, it's really favorable weather. I mean, I love living here, and of course, I'm a little biased. Now, the hottest months are going to be July, August, September, where you can get up in the 90s and you don't want to go outside. But I mean, just take the flip side of that. I lived in New York for a long time. 6 months out of the year, you would never go outside. So you're trading it in, really. You're only doing 3 months, which you can still go outside. Just got to turn the AC on in your car and make sure you run into the building. But comparatively, 3 months to 6 months, you get 3 months life back here where you can go outside and hang out. And aside from those 3 months, the weather is so favorable the rest of the year. I mean, really, outside of that July, August, September range, it's probably around 85 degrees, sunny, and then if it is really hot, it will rain around like 4 or 5 o'clock. And that's what we're seeing today, actually. And the last reason, of course, is going to be also based off of money, is going to be taxes. There's no state income tax here in Florida. People are looking to move to a more tax-friendly state, especially if they are retiring, and Florida happens to be one of those. Jacksonville's sales tax is 7.5%, so just depending on where you live, it's probably a little bit lower than where most places are. Now, a lot of tech companies have recently decided to move to Jacksonville. We've seen the stories about Miami and Fort Lauderdale really having that tech boom as corporations flee these states with high tax areas. So when you're taking a look at Jacksonville, they've already had a significant tech sector here, but since COVID in the past couple years, it's really been booming. Jacksonville's technology composite is among the nation's leaders as headquarters for leading tech companies like Black Knight, Newfold Digital, Coastal Cloud, Fanatics, and Forcura. Northeastern Florida is firmly established in technology and diverse across industries and disciplines. The region is also home to several emerging and startup firms, noted by Roofstock, ranking Jacksonville number 9 in their survey with U.S. cities of most startup businesses. E-commerce and fintech have been particularly high growth areas for Jacksonville. Over the last 5 years, Jax USA has been involved in the announcement of 13 e-commerce companies to the region, with a total investment of more than $3.3 billion in infrastructure and the addition of nearly 18,000 jobs at the time of announcement. Fintech's most recent addition was the announcement of Dun & Bradstreet, a leading global provider of business decisioning data and analytics. They recently moved from New Jersey to Jacksonville, and I bet that has a lot to do with taxes. And also, if you are looking to start a business, especially in the tech sector, Jacksonville has been ranked one of the best areas to do that. There are over 2,500 startups started annually, creating around 14% of the jobs overall in Jacksonville. That's a pretty staggering number. Let's take a deep dive into the numbers that Teamwork used to rank Jacksonville as number 7 on the top 10 US cities for remote workers. The main factor in their decision is going to be average monthly salary and the cost of living. If you're taking a look at the map here, you can see that Jacksonville came in at number 7 with average monthly salary of $4,500. You look at the cost of living around $1,500, the salary cost index comes out to about 1/3 of your total income. Now, number 1 on the list, you compare it to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Your average monthly salary is going to be around $5,000 with a cost of living of $1,000. Salary cost index of 0.21, so much lower, but you are also living in Wyoming. I mean, I've never been there, but I mean, am I wrong? Let me know. Am I wrong? Wyoming's probably beautiful. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's my type of place. Aside from those major factors, Teamwork also looked at the cost of a 1-bedroom apartment, the cost to go out for a beer, the cost for a couple to go out at a nice restaurant. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take some of the factors that they have and I want to compare it real time into Jacksonville today. So if you're looking for a 1-bedroom apartment in Jacksonville and the surrounding area, I mean, you can spend $3,000 a month if you want to. You can probably spend $5,000 $5,000 if you wanted to, but I would say most one bedrooms are gonna be around $1,200 a month. Of course, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down depending on the area you're in, but I would say on average, that's gonna be about $1,200 a month. The next factor they look at is a meal at an inexpensive restaurant. So to me, I just picked a taco truck. So if you're getting 3 tacos, you typically get that for $9 to $12 plus a drink. Let's just say you're out of the door at about 15 bucks. That sounds about right. A 3-course meal for 2 in a mid-range restaurant. So just to cover like an entire area, some Italians are gonna get mad at me here, but let's just say you went to an Olive Garden. I would expect if you're going out with a date, you're gonna get an appetizer, you're gonna get 2 entrees, maybe a couple drinks, maybe a dessert. I'm gonna say you're gonna spend between $80 and $100. Monthly internet was another factor that they use. Now, it just depends on what you do on the internet, but for me, I game, I watch a lot of movies, I do a lot of live streams, I do a lot of YouTube videos. I need a fast-paced internet. I got a deal from AT&T, it's 50 bucks a month, but it's probably more like 80 after that 6 months wears off. So it could be anywhere from $50 to $100. The next factor they wanted to go over is gym membership. So that also is depending on you. You can go to LA Fitness, spend $50 a month. You can go to another CrossFit gym, spend $120 a month. Most people I figure are gonna go to Planet Fitness, so I just threw in 10 bucks a month. The other factor is going to be transportation and car insurance. So here, I mean, transportation, doing a bus, that's not really something you're looking to do. If you are gonna have to Uber, it's gonna get more expensive because the further you go, the mileage that you're going, that's more expensive than just sitting in the car itself at traffic. So it's going to cost you a little bit if you actually don't have a car. You're going to spend way more probably on Ubers if you need to go a lot of places. So I would say most people have a car here. Let's assume that car is paid off. It's going to be about $100 to $150 a month. If you are financing the car, of course, could be around that range too, but that is totally dependent on you, your credit, your situation with your insurance company. And then the last factor they had was just what is your average beer in a bar? So I would say just depending on where you're going, if you're at the lower end, you're probably gonna be at $3 a beer. If you're at the higher end, you could probably be at $10 a beer. But I would say most of them are gonna be that $3 to $5 range for a beer at a nice little restaurant. So I factored in for the entire month, let's just say it's gonna be about 100 bucks if you're a drinker. Who knows? I'm not really a drinker, but I just gave it a little bit, 100 bucks. So if you add all that up, that's gonna give you a monthly total of $1,575. Now with the ranges I gave in there, it could go up to $2,000, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a little bit less depending on what you get, what you do, but I would say around $1,500 to $2,000 for those main expenses. Though if you're living in a 1-bedroom apartment and you're just trying to live your life a little bit, I would probably factor your expenses to be somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 a month, just if you wanna live a little bit. I mean, I kind of did it the bare bones here, maybe going out once a week and kind of following up like that, but maybe you want to go out more than that. So $2,000 to $2,500 is probably a good starting point. So if you're looking at the numbers, they were kind of close. Just me, I was just like, hey, I'll take everything they said and I'll run the numbers up on it to see if they got their head in their ass or not. And you know what? They're pretty close. They said 1529. I said 1575. I'm right there with them. So we probably factored a couple things differently. I might have threw in a couple more beers than they wanted. But yeah, I would say $1,500 to $2,000 is what you could get by on here if you're living, frugally and you're looking to go out once a week or so. So I think that's a good number. So teamwork also comprised a lot of the cities where your average monthly salary will actually be about 50% of your rent for the month. So if you're taking a look at New York, your rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in city center is going to be around $3,000. I just saw recently by The Real Deal, that is around $4,000 now. Average monthly salary, $5,931. So 50% of your income is going towards rent. One thing to know about New York City, if you've never lived there, most landlords in New York City require you to make 40 times the monthly rent for your annual salary. Now let's also compare this with Miami. It's a city that's within Florida. You're taking a look here. Rent for a 1-bedroom in Miami is right around $2,000, so we're about $500 to $800 less depending on where you want to live, and their average monthly salary is around $3,995. So we're not far off when you're talking about monthly salary here, because Jacksonville, we're at $4,500. So why would you want to live in Miami if you can make $500 more here, and also it's $500 less expensive on the monthly to rent an apartment? I imagine it's actually way less expensive than Miami. I'm not sure where they got that number for Miami. I mean, $2,000 a month seems kind of low. Guys, and that is it. I hope you gained a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of insight into why Jacksonville is number 7 on the top 10 US cities for remote workers. If you did, please do me that solid and tap that subscribe button below, like the video, and comment if you have any additional questions about remote work here in Jacksonville, St. Augustine, or Palm Coast. If you need any further assistance, I do have a Calendly link below where you can schedule a 30-minute appointment with me over video.